So, we already discussed their history basically, and now we see, as per usual, that we start on Smashville, Corrin versus the Bayonetta. And I'm not entirely certain about this matchup, but I do feel that Space obviously is comfortable enough to play it, so I'm gonna assume that
he plays both characters to a very high level. He should be more than familiar with what Bayonetta wants to do.
Yeah, as far as he's told me, he thinks that both Corrin and Bayo are his most proficient matchups. So he is very comfortable at this, very confident as well. And even though Badr is an extremely good player, Space has shown today and yesterday that he can take out the best of the best. At least in the Netherlands.
He definitely has. So we're already in top 16. I wonder if this is best of 5. I would love if we get some info about that.
I think I heard Mark call earlier that winners quarters is best of 3.
Okay.
Because Tatumon versus iStudying was also winners quarters.
Oh yeah, that was also winners quarters. Okay, so that confirms it right there. Speaking of confirms, we got a kill confirm coming out for Badr, showing Space that he may be down a set, but he is not looking to get a repeat.
Yeah, and even back at Mission Complete, it was extremely close between the two. So I don't think that there's definitely not a big skill gap between the two, and either player can just pull it out here, I think. Even right now with Space having a deficit, he could still pull it back, because one clean hit and it'll be even in stocks.
Oh, whoa, that was super ballsy by Badr. The Fang was out there and growling, and he still kicked in it, and he gets a stock out of it. The man didn't even touch 100%.
The classic, I would almost say pre-patch combo that we saw.
It did look at that, but we saw Space SDIing. It was just Badr reacting perfectly and him just never getting quite far enough to fall out of the multi hits. Especially
at the end, the last up B, I believe that one is relatively easy to avoid the up air.
Yeah, and if you B reverse it, you know,
yeah, that is indeed. If you turn it around, then
that's quite the mix-up.
That's the mix-up indeed. Yeah, I've actually forgot about this. So FD is the counter pick, I guess. Space wants to have a flat stage, so he has an easier time getting back to the ground, because that is, relatively speaking, one of Corrin's weaker points, I believe.
Well, I think her ground speed is honestly her weakest point.
Okay, yeah, but I said one off.
Okay, yeah, one. Yeah,
because her airspeed isn't great either.
Nah, just everything that goes horizontal is really lackluster with Corrin. You don't really notice too much of it because, again, like you just told me, the burst range is incredible.
Exactly.
So you have a lot of horizontal threat, but if you actually just need to traverse space, you don't have too many options.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's just when you are within the range of like the side B from the ground or just neutral air, that's when you're afraid of Corrin. When you're just outside of that.
And that's why I think wide stages, while playing a character that can play a very workable runaway style, is kind of a trouble for Corrin in general.
I fully agree with you. That basically characters are allowed to camp on these sides, but they're...
Yeah, you're not allowed to land like that, right into the mouth of the Dragon Fang.
Space actually getting the ending lag from the multiple side specials or up specials from Bayonetta and just punishing that optimally with the Dragon Fang shot.
It is so strong, and you don't even need a charged shot to make sure you can land a charged Fang if you're close enough.
Exactly, but if he is in range of the Fang, then even an uncharged Dragon Fang shot will combo into fully charged Fang.
Just like we're seeing right now.
Thank you, Space, for exhibiting what we were talking about.
And Badr, man, he is kicking and kicking, but he's just bouncing off and not finding the hits.
Yeah, right now, Space has full control, unlike the first game where Badr seemed to have just everything in his own hands, basically.
Which is interesting, because I think this is actually a worse stage in the matchup, honestly.
As I said before, I do not agree with that necessarily. I just don't think it is Corrin's optimal stage. But it's not worse than we're on Smashville, right?
Yeah, but Rams actually told me that Smashville is one of Corrin's, if not Corrin's, best stage.
I can understand why, actually. Yeah, you may actually have a point. Maybe he just didn't want to go back to Smashville.
He definitely didn't. Either way, it is working out beautifully. I think we're going to see an up throw if he can get another one of those grabs.
There we go.
Full rage, light witch, he's out.
Yeah.
So back-to-back 2-stocks, how about that?
That's yeah, actually quite interesting. Like I said, the skill difference isn't too big between them, so just having these waves of momentum is probably what's going to make the game in the final game.
So, no pressure.
No pressure at all.
As Badr is thinking deeply.
I mean, even in the worst case scenario, they're both still winners. They can still continue in losers and make a run there if they end up losing.
Yeah, but you really don't want to get there, especially with people like us studying now in there.
That's true. I mean, a lot of great players went to loser bracket earlier. I mean, I just met Joe earlier there, so that was no fun for me either.
Oh, wow. What round?
That was round 6, but he was already there in round 3. Because he lost to Kunai off stream.
Really?
Yeah.
Joe's been a bit inconsistent lately. But enough about Joe. Let's hope he makes it through and we'll see him on stream later.
Classic Bayonetta counter pick if she wants to camp.
It's actually kind of surprised that Space, especially after playing versus Badr, didn't decide to ban the stage outright.
I do agree. That is quite odd that he didn't ban it, because I do feel that the tilting of the stage can actually screw over Corrin quite well. Like you just saw with the insta-pin, that he didn't pin to the ground.
And on top of that, Badr is definitely the Bayo who will use those tilts to just absolutely pepper you with those bullets.
He has no quarrel with using the tilts in order to camp out anyone, if he is allowed to do so.
Yeah, when I first bought Bayonetta, when she came out, I was like, well, this bullet climber is not really that great of a projectile. Well, Lilat mixes all of that up.
Yeah, I agree. On Lilat, that projectile is so simply annoying to deal with, and the damage output is huge.
Yeah, because you can't fall out because you're already on the ground. Yeah. But Space has been doing a fantastic job of keeping Badr in the corner and not giving him the room he needs to set up a game like that.
Yeah, exactly. He's trying his best to just stay really up close.
Final
and because of that, and because of that, yeah, he can't just set up, and there he gets a roll to Dragon Fang shots?
Yeah, man, just outspaced and outbit.
Ooh, very good interception there by Badr, but that is not going to be enough.
Yeah, and he's a little bit late with the back air, unfortunately for him. Lilat was also tilting in Space's favor as it came down.
That is true, and if he was too early, he may have traded and could have actually been stage spiked. With the rage that Corrin has, that could... I don't think it would have killed Bayonetta because she has an amazing recovery.
Oh, the first witch time of the sets comes out and it instantly makes a mark, an even game.
Or so, the first one that connected.
The first one that connected, yeah.
But
oh, there it is. There are the bullets we were talking about. It's not even just the tilting, it's also the slants on the side.
Yeah, and look at that, because he even shielded the first one, like the heavy hits, and he still took 14%.
Yeah, that's scary stuff, man.
Yeah. So Badr is mixing it up more. Instead of just going straight for the ledge, he's trying to mix it up between retreating and approaching, which actually makes it harder for Space to actually properly put on pressure, I feel.
And another witch time. Does he have a read on what Space likes to do with these aerials? Unfortunately, he didn't have the punish, but I think he knows.
But this is
hello! Okay. That looked like he died way too early, but I think
that was not a single hit, but it was the same idea behind it.
Yeah, but I also think, now I can't prove it,